Does the immigration problem have anything to do with the sign about babies? Mr. Chavez, could you please tell us what this means? Don't separate babies from their parents. Save the children. Families belong together. Whose babies are being separated from their parents? Where is this taking place?
I will be glad to. For those of you who don't know, I'm Cesar Chavez, a Mexican-American. I was a union leader and labor organizer. Today, at the border between Mexico and the United States, there are Mexican and Central Americans who have walked hundreds of miles to escape starvation or violent death, seeking asylum. And yet, here in America, they have been treated like criminals. Children have been literally separated from their parents. It's outrageous.
Why aren't the American people opposed to such inhumane treatment?
We are, but many people ignore this horrific treatment because they fear the newcomer, crime, and a changing America that will leave them behind. The most obvious source of anger is the belief that the foreigner is unfairly taking their jobs. They hope this treatment will discourage people from coming to America, but it's wrong.
Yes, it's wrong, but there has to be a limit to the number of poor people we can take in. Look what's happening in Europe. Everywhere, immigrants are putting a strain on the very fabric of the countries they're coming to.
That's exactly why there needs to be an immigration policy that is fair to the people who came to the United States legally. It also makes sense to help the countries, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, where these people come from, so that they won't be desperate enough to risk everything to come to America.
Sounds like a good idea, but in the meantime, these illegals expect to be treated the same way as citizens who pay taxes, and to make matters worse, they're taking our jobs.
Truth is that most current citizens don't want those jobs these immigrants are willing to take.
I don't believe that. Where did you hear this?
It's true.
What makes you an authority on the truth?
I'm not, but I read newspapers that have a record for integrity. Only the truth will help me understand the problems we are facing and make the right decisions when I vote.
Everybody is interested in the truth.
Really? Then why do people watch programs that only give them one point of view? Why do they read tabloids that are known for lying?
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you've heard the line that's been circulated that a certain political party wants to open the borders to anybody who wants to come here and work here.
It's true.
Really? Where did you read or hear this? Who has suggested that all the borders of the United States be completely open to anybody who wants to come here? It has never been that way, and nobody is advocating that. These are scare tactics. Reasonable Americans want sensible laws that the president should encourage Congress to create.
This sounds familiar. Misinformation. No wonder nothing is getting done in Washington.
Excuse me, but I think we are digressing. Please stay on the topic that we're discussing.
Actually, an important topic is the causes of disagreement. One of the reasons why we can't seem to resolve the immigration problem, or any other, is because of the misinformation that is purposely circulated. It's impossible to find a solution to a problem when you're working with people who have no interest in the truth. I am a victim of misinformation.
I'm sorry to say that today the truth is a very subjective entity. There are people who have different opinions about climate change, even when there is concrete evidence of its existence.
Nonsense. I'm Daniel Patrick Moynihan, a four-term United States senator, sociologist, and diplomat. I said many times, everyone is entitled to his own opinion, but not to his own facts. Seeking the truth and highlighting the truth should always be a goal of a democracy. When lawmakers have a problem with the truth, it becomes essential that the free press alert the public to the lies that can destroy a democracy.
The history of World War II is a perfect example of a catastrophic effect of lies. Adolf Hitler used lies and reinforced lies to try to extinguish an entire religion and other people who didn't fit in his mold. He was so successful that the average person couldn't seem to distinguish truth from fiction.
Today, it's even easier to spread lies. Social media.
Social media? Does that have something to do with the new kind of phones and this thing called Twitter?
Yes. And social media played a critical role in the last presidential election and could affect the next one.
Therefore, it's imperative that the press work overtime to get the facts, the truth to the people. It shouldn't even matter what party you belong to.
Lies and hurtful comments on social media are also tearing our nation apart. Like you, Mr. Hing, I have Asian blood. As a result, I've often heard people say, "Go home," as if America weren't my home. There have been times recently when I was concerned about walking in the street in my own neighborhood. It is inconceivable that this is happening.
I'm deeply sorry to hear this. It's clearly not just the Constitution that needs review.
I totally agree.